Fine. Fine. I'll put a summary. Whatever we spoke from the day one to till now. Before I start with the summary, in any of the service, any of the concept is not clear, let me know. I'll put a summary. I'll just write a day one till day 20. Whatever the concept that I spoke, keep filling here. And in that, if you have anything that you did not understood, early than that we can speak. This data quality and data governance, we would take it in the second cycle only. By mistakenly, I've just added here. Data governance is the next cycle part. Tell me, any service or anything that you did not understood? Because see, if I'll also add this much, I'll also add some more points here. My inputs are till to take you about thorough about the concepts and a couple of tasks I've added, which I do. What are the tasks that you got it right? That's regular tasks which I did it in Azure. I do have some to work on AWS side also, but I've, I've converted those tasks into the simple approach what you can understand. The data sets and all I downloaded from some internet only, some Google only I downloaded and just changed here and there and given it to you. Task wise, it should not be that much impact. I mean, see, once you applied one approach about this any type of the service, it should be a standard for us. It should be the standard process for us. No matter what, you dump the data, you bring the data from sources, maybe you bring the data from on premises. Try to install on premises service on your system and try to load the data from SQL Server to a cloud. Try to dump Postgres. If you are not comfortable with installing a Postgres and running some queries, ask me. I'll help you. Try with the different flavors. Don't stick to only one of the source. You may get a different source. You may get a different storage accounts. Choice is yours again. I would say because you end up having like it's too much. We have it. Do you got the interview questions for a data factory or data bricks also?
Yes, sir.
Databricks, Synapse, you have it. Data Factory, you have it. And entire all your first cycle also you have it. So only thing is what databases and your blobs and data lakes I have not given if I'm not wrong, if I understood correctly. Apart from that, security also I'll try to add some of the questions. Security, whatever we spoke on the in encryption, keys and secrets. Security is not a dependent topic on you, but there should be an awareness for each thing. That's the reason I've invested some time to make you aware. You might not involve yourself a lot. There would be a separate team for security. There would be a separate team for data quality. There would be a separate team for data governance. Everyone would be separated, but it doesn't mean like you should not know anything. See what we will do. We will clear everything. We will do a transformation. We will give this data to data governance people, data quality people. There are in some companies, people will use some tools. People will use some tools, and they will use those tools to perform some data masking. We learned about data masking on the day, right? Don't think that no one will use synapse inside a data masking. People want to be a little more specifically a different from the existing one. There are some tools. I'll give you some of the tools names. Keep it with you, or if you want to search it, search it. Tonic is a tool for data masking, or we can call it as data verification. Calibra is a tool for data governance and data quality. We have it in the market, and they're really doing good. People use it. Most of the companies will use it. So just to get rid of a situation, if someone asks, you should know what they do at the back end. who will give the data to these people. There would be a separate team for us. This also comes under data engineers. I'm not saying I'm not separating them. For us, we don't have an exposure to the tool. That's the reason we are making sure that there is a separate team for us. That's only one of the context. And there would be a lot of work which we do it as a data engineer, doing your ingestion, doing your transformation, uh, your data loading to cleaning you to. Fine. So anything you have, any question before I proceed, apart from the project you can do, bring the questions once you complete with the project. So we started with what we, by the time, irrespective of whatever the background we had it, we started with zero, and maybe we are not even know about where we are. So at least to get comfortable with the service, we understood a couple of things in a better way. So tell me before I start with, I'll start from the from person to person. Puja, any questions? Any service which you feel like which is not clear in that?
I feel like everything is clear, but in the sign-ups part, where you gave the documents, like fourth one. So
The data lake one, the dumping a data into Synapse Analytics. That much part. Okay, fine, no problem. Support.
and also
Uh,
this key vault and stuff. Actually, I have to go through, but
just look at those things as it is. You will be there in the next cycle. So budge me or let me know if you guys, anyone. I'm not just Sushma. If she's done with the today's batch and she will be no more with us. And I mean to say in the next batch. I mean to say even Bona, you will be there for the next batch. For the next cycle, you're there.
Suresh, I'll be there.
Okay. So I'm talking about some people who will be finishing with the, even including Manoj as well, I believe. So don't think that this is done. Go through those things again and again. If you stuck anywhere, reach out to me. Do not hesitate to ask me. By any chance, if I'll be in office, maybe I will not reply immediately, but I'll definitely come back to you. So the only thing is I was talking about the summary. Yeah, Apur, tell me, man, which service is not is which service is not clear or something. You have questions, you let me know, because I'll be picking up inputs from you only for today's discussion. Any topic, if you go through it, if you referred any of the blogs, or if you do a practice, if you stuck anywhere, because what I have time in my hand and what I can do, I'm just doing it. And if I bring couple of scenarios more and more, we will keep ending. Already we took some additional time for us. This is one of the batch where I usually complete in 20 or 21 days hardly. It took quite longer time for us. That's really fine with me. Maybe we will try to balance it in the second cycle. So, but just to make you aware that be clear what you do. Yeah, Pur.
Yeah, I think everything is good, but like only the practice thing is not there. Like a lot of practice should be done. So like
How much
you
how,
be,
how much time you get in a day after apart from your work? You do even
I'm
go for a job.
I'm not working. I'm not working right now. I just took off for 3 months.
Okay, sure, no problem.
So like if you get some more projects to do, like similar, like from little low level to like high, so it will be good for us.
I would say just say register you guys yourself on Kaggle. Okay, I'll just share the link. Kaggle you
Yeah,
get
I
many
saw the
projects.
Kaggle, but it's a premium one. I think they charge $50-$40 per project.
Okay. I might give some more if you start doing those things, taking resources from me, and if you do it, complete those projects and give it to me, and I'll definitely give the other set of things which I have it with me.
And other thing is like if you do some projects, how to do like show that on that GitHub and all. Like I don't know how to create that. Can you tell
Acha,
us on GitHub?
integration with the GitHub, you mean to say? That we would be taking the integration of, you're talking about the GitHub repos.
No. Like the portfolio, right? Like we say that like we have done this sort of projects and also how to upload that project on GitHub. Like is it in a PDF form or like just the script and all? I don't have any idea
Uh,
regarding that.
You can dump the project. You can dump the project, like you can just upload every scripts over there. I'll just show you one of the method. What I have my account, I'll show you my account only. You can just replicate, or you can just follow that approach also. That is really fine. Tell me, Manoj.
Suresh, sorry because my laptop was not working properly. I don't know. That's what I joined late a bit.
No, that's
So
okay.
I have a question regarding data breaks. Like I didn't join any class regarding data breaks. I
Mm-hmm.
think batch one gonna be start data breaks or no? If you guys can add me just for a one or two sessions with that, please.
Yeah, I mean, Patnaik sir would be the right one to guide. I have not started Databricks
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just, he will guide you. Yeah, you can take the inputs from him, and that's not a problem. I don't think it's a problem you joining over there for the
Okay.
one or two topics,
Yeah,
but you can
that's it.
just check the inputs from Patnaik sir. He will guide you on that.
Okay. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Fine
Thank
then.
you.
I mean that even save my time also if you come over there. If you have any question, you can definitely reach out to me. That's
Yeah,
not a
sure.
problem for me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Fine. Uh, Fine, Apur. I can do that for you. I mean, having up an account, uh, I'll show you the account and you can deploy it. I mean, that should probably give some good exposure to the panel guy, and whether you have a correct account or not. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Fine then. Srijana,
Actually, I need more practice
one
because
every batch I see one person. In every batch, I get one person who is more dedicated, who is more sincere. That's what I see in you. So anyhow, I mean, do the practice. Srijana. I'm expecting some good inputs. Like at the end of the day, 1 or 2 months back, I really hope to you get a job. Everyone should get a job. Moreover, like you got a good exposure in the industry, you already worked in the industry, so it's not take that much time for you. So go do a good practice, and whatever you need it from me, pick it up from me,
yeah, sure.
irrespective of the real time or irrespective of any interview questions. Pick it up from me, place yourself at the list, I would say. I mean that's what I would see. Every individual is doing it, everyone is doing a practice. I get one person in each batch. So in that context, I'm saying fine. Bona.
To go through Databricks series. Like I missed the last two classes, right?
Okay, you're not there for
Yeah,
Databricks.
and I left out a few self-learning topics. I have to do that.
Okay. Spare some time from your regular schedule. I know you are going early in the morning and come back in the evening. That's your schedule, but spare some time from your schedule and do the rest of the topics, whatever we taught. How much ever you will, I mean, how much ever I'll speak, how much ever you listen, until unless you don't touch it, you don't get the feel out of it. If you're stuck anywhere, I'm always there. That's not at all a problem from my side. To you ask me 100 times, I'll tell you 100 times. So that's really not a problem. Fine. Okay, Shivani.
Yes, Suresh. Till now, whenever I'm working on Azure Databricks or signups or anything, I feel like comfortable doing that. I have to recheck once again myself, like how well I'm doing it even after getting some gap. So that's the only thing. And regarding the topics, I'm slowly trying to digest everything.
It is,
I
but
need
I
some
mean,
help.
this
Yeah.
that's really fine. If you stuck with any of the topic, you just let me know. Same thing I've said to others as well. Fine, no problem. Uh, I'll just give a summary from the day one. Just give me 2 minutes, guys. Just go on mute for 2 minutes. Yes. And even for the next cycle, the first 3 to 4 days, we'll be speaking on the basics only. I mean, how we have given some understanding about the data and data engineering, the life cycle. I'm just giving an heads up because you may get bored to listen the same stuff. If you're okay to come back and listen to that, that is also fine. Meanwhile, I'm telling you in prayer only way because there are a couple of folks who would be joining with us. So in that, considering the set of criteria, we would be talking the similar 1 2 sessions, like first two sessions, whatever we spoke, right? This, what is structured, what is unstructured, what is cloud. These things we'll be speaking on the first couple of days, 2 to 3 days. So it would be like a revise for you at the same time, and it's again your choice. I'm telling you, like, no need to get bored. Prepare yourself. This is known to us, and those things we will be speaking about it. Before we start with your Azure data engineering, we spoke about before I start with any of the service, maybe a blog, maybe a data lake. We dealt with a lot of things data lake only, right? So what my point to you all, like, try using the different source in the source. Use your database, use your on-premises database, use any of the data warehousing. That's really fine with it. If you have enough bandwidth in your laptops, you can dump any of the sources, different on-premises, you can go for it. Otherwise, you can just get the understanding of this could go with any of the sources. That's what the understanding should be. Okay, so before we come on to that, we understood about data, we understood about structure, we understood about semi-structure, unstructured, we understood about types of clouds, we spoke about public, private, and hybrid. These things we spoke. And also we spoke on what is IAAS. I'm not sure if you remember. SAAS, and also called as DAS. DAS, data. We comes and we may comes under PAAS and SAAS also, but couple of organization will follow this approach. This is not documented. I'm just telling you DAS. Data engineering, whatever we call ourselves, right? So everything you deal with your data, that's what people call it as a DAS, or people call it as a big data, or there are different names. Every organization will use big data or a big sky. Different organization will use different names. So this is what we spoke in the initial days, and trying to understand on the on-premises approach. Also, we try to compare with the cloud, why we are going on to the cloud. Maybe we still have on-premises data engineering. Then I would just say ETL approach we spoke, ELT we spoke. What is on-premise data engineering services? Any idea? On premises, we do have some data engineering tools and data engineering services. What are they?
SQL Server. SQL Server.
SSIS.
SSIS.
Oh, you're talking about. Okay, sorry.
SQL Server is a main database, I would say. I'll just put it here. This is also a part of it. When you do with SSIS, you would be with SQL Server. SQL Server is there for your databases. That's where you dump the data into our integration catalogs, like how you have a data factory here. So our approach on SSIS correlate with your databases. So I can just say SSIS is on premises, your ADF is on cloud. Yeah, we got those same set of features on SSIS. With ADF, you're doing it. Same set of copy you do. There also you have a data flow task. There also you have a packages. There also same thing. Everything is same. See, more or less, you dump the data, you refresh the data, you keep. I'll tell you, our job is like every day there would be some files which keep generating on the landing. If they don't arrive on a time, your jobs will get filled. Your processing jobs, whatever you do, data transformation or data cleaning, that would be an automated. Your jobs will get failed, right? Why? Because there is no data only. Yesterday, because of some network issues, some of the crap, something happened at the data center and the source part, you don't have a data on your landing. You don't do anything. If so, validation could be done on first base. If your validation is done at the data lake, the landing part, then your other jobs will run. So people will do a manual effort for such cloud engineering aspects. They do the validation on the landing, whether the files are arrived or not. If the files are not arrived, you can't do anything on the day and on the processing side. You can't do any transformation. You can't do any data. There is no data. Again, it will take the last day data. There would be a little headache for us. So, if it is a good architecture, if a good surrounding where you're working it, everything is automated. You just have to see how it is going to go with your requirements. Things would go in a better way for us. If you get some surrounding where you have to do all manual effort only, then you will break your head there. Fine. So this is we spoke in the initial stage, and coming on to each services, maybe we started with Azure Data Factory. Okay. Inside Azure Data Factory, see everything with you work here as a pipeline only, no doubt in that. Pipeline is nothing but workflow, nothing but job. Right. So what is your source, what is your destination is only we need to understand your job. They might ask you what are the different standards for your for your existing projects, how they do the optimization, how they do the so different methods that will ingest. Maybe the cost is a little more factor for us. We may not work on the cost estimation. We may not work with closely with the product owner sometimes, but we should be aware of that. Am I making my customers to put a lot of money without having that usage? So those things, I am not saying you should think in that context, but it's always helps you. Couple of things I wanted to give you 2 minutes. When I bought something like this, 2 minutes. Genesis interview question. Let me just search it here. Google Drive. Okay. These things I was talking about, just go through these best practices for notepad. This one I am talking about. This I have not shared, right? These things. No, right? Best practices for ADB, ADF, ASF. All right. I'll just put it in the folder. Just we explain while I was explaining, I was just told you people, but maybe I'll just dump it here. A couple of scenarios I've just clubbed into it. I'll just add it here as well. Usually, what would be the common issues? What would be the problem, and how you check the approach? Those things I've just listed it here. Maybe some 6 to 7 I have just added. I have added a couple of. This is the usual scenario. If you see timeouts, you can't do anything for timeouts. Then pipelines are running quite longer than expected. I've given answers also. Review the pipeline activities, considering the optimizing the code, parallelism or data partitioning, reduce execution and time. Just check these questions. Just these are considering the interview. I just added this. Go through these questions. If you did not get it, let me know. These all are, I mean, whatever we spoke in terms of subject only, I've just added. See, we do data movements. What would be the problem? Copy or whatever. Where you will check it? How do you find the incorrect issues? What is the format? These things. See, getting an answer is not a difficult in data engineering. If you ask me, also when I work on a daily basis now, also some situations I might not be knowing. I know the what needs to be asked to Google. It will probably help me. It will probably give me some of the blocks. Understand the concept first. That is more important. So go through this things, and it even same with your signups as well. Where all you get a performance issue for signups. So some of the things which you won't involve yourself, like whenever you have some virtual network integration. So there would be some specific teams for network and all. You will connect with them. Read these things. Each document, whatever it given you, this troubleshooting or the best practices. First, I would say leave everything and just only read all 6 documents. Whatever you studied all these 20 days, are you going to sync up with this or not? That would be your understanding. How much you understood, whether the understanding what you took it are able to correlate or not. Wherever you get a question like whichever is going to bounce up, put a bracket, not clear. Okay? Keep that part and ask me. Read that much part only for today. So read all the 6 documents, because this document itself tells you how much you did it in each topic. Best practice, if you go, some of the areas which you have to, this is Databricks. In Databricks also, we have to understand a couple of areas in a better way, like energies and all, it comes on the network side. Okay. So if I am talking about something in this topic or any of this best practices, if you go to area best practices also, how do you organize, how do you just establish your requirements for your customers? So maybe I've given some of the scenarios, not all could cover. And wherever you see compliance, wherever you see governance, so there would be separate teams who would work. Don't think that disaster recovery you only take care of it. No, not you. But I will be talking about disaster recovery, about the backup, the second cycle. We have a backup. How do you take backups? How do you do a disaster recoveries? You might not know, because we don't have access first of all to that servers, to that subscriptions. We will have very limited access. They will not give access to the production. No, they will not give access. So these things you can just check and let me know. Anything which you feel like which is not going what you understood, you can ask me. Some of the topics would look new to you, and there I would just say maybe you will interact with a set of people. This is close to your data warehousing. So go through with all these documents and let me know if you have any questions. I mean, just summarize in terms of scenario based only, guys. Whatever we want, right? I just summarize in terms of scenario based only. Fine. Let me dump and give it to you. Fine. Able to access. Download that and go through all those things. You can do that for today. Maybe when you'll get up tomorrow in the morning also, you can do that much part for today. We'll be continuing from tomorrow only. But next, sir? Or these people are getting any taking some breath, or we would be taking continuously?
We can continue, Suresh. The
Okay.
team also, new trainees also ready to join the sessions.
From tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, you can be there tomorrow. There's no gap for you. Fine then. Tell me, Sushma.
So I have a doubt, like if I want to do a project on a restaurant data, suppose, how do I do it? Like, do I need to gather the information from the CRMs and all?
On what you want to do the project?
If I want to do a project on restaurant, like analysis about taking the previous data, I want to know about the future, what is going to happen. Is it in the loss or a profit?
Okay.
So, should I need to take the data from the CRM software, or how should I do it?
Uh, Necessarily they will load the data into some of the data sets. I mean, how are you going to get the data is also important. CRM would be there. Some situations like you may have to get the data sets only. I mean, you would be getting a raw data for your requirement. Maybe you wanted to see the analysis out of it. You would be picking the data from the existing applications. They will give you the raw data to us. I mean, if you ask me, in our situation, in our data engineering situation, they would probably give you some of the REST APIs link locations for us. Maybe they'll give you some of the data where it is dumped. They'll dump for you somewhere. And it's not our job whether the data is available by that time or not. If it is not available, you will ask them, the data is not available, I definitely need it. If that
Okay.
is there, then you can pick up the data. How they are going to dump the data till your place, like your landing, that's your data lake, is your requirement. By any chance, if does not comes on this part, you will ask support people, like I have not, the data is not available because my estimation, my analysis will get will not be proceeded further. So they'll get a data for you. Bringing a raw data for you, it's their job. In our all practices, I'm just sharing the data. Same like you, there would be a separate team like a application team, app ops team, or a move it team, which I've told you. Move it is a tool which
Yeah.
bring the data from. So there would be separate teams for that. So if they are not
Okay.
bringing the data for you, probably like you will have to check with them. Internally only
Okay.
you deal with it. Internally only you deal with it. By any chance, if it doesn't get it, then only you can check with them.
We need all
Manual
right.
effort is not. No, sorry.
We need not learn scraping and all right.
No, no, web scraping and all we don't. It's a
Oh,
very rare when we do a web scraping, but
okay.
not required to specifically do the web scraping and all.
Okay.
I did it web scraping only in one of the project, like 4 years back. I did it web scraping, but
Okay.
as soon as when you start working with the different set of tools which are available in the market, you avoid that
Mhm.
approach.
Okay.
If you are really good at programming and all, right,
Mhm.
our life will become little more easy sometimes to do the better automation. Existing, there would be an existing someone who's already followed some standards for the automation, that is fine. You came in between and you have some different logical, that logic works in a better way, then apply
Mhm.
that as well. You can recommend on a dev or a QA and see how it is going to go. Probably your TL or your manager will review the code and he will ask you, okay, fine, we can try this.
Okay.
Okay.
Another doubt here. Uh, is it we do a activities in ADF, right?
Yeah,
Uh, tumbling window is similar to what we do as a execute pipeline.
tumbling window. I'm a scheduler, you mean to say, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
same like a execute, right? It executes one pipeline and then it executes the other one.
It goes in the sequential and it also validates the availability of the file also. It
Okay.
works in the event base. Suppose I'll put it this way. Your pipeline is running for every 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Example. Why it is running every 10 minutes? That is one approach. Other approach is your pipeline will run when the file is arrived. It will keep a
Okay.
check. It will keep a check that okay, the file and the file got arrived on the data lake. I have to run the pipeline. That is one approach. Tumbling is like an execution in a sequential way. It will not proceed until unless there are 10 pipelines. I assume that there are 10 pipelines. Your first pipeline is the dependent pipeline. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, they will not run until unless your first will run. There you can talk about tumbling
Okay.
window.
Okay.
So I will put it another statement here: conditional and scheduled. Conditional is nothing but uh, you have provided this job should run only when the file arrives. Second is your scenario, your tumbling window scenario. It has to run in the sequential way. First should run, second should run, third should run. But there is a dependency. We can also call it as a downstream jobs dependency. Though those things I have added in the scenario. Just read the document, the troubleshooting
Okay.
on best practice rate. I've added in that, which you have asked me. I've listed into
Okay.
a couple of scenario based approach only. I mean, probably it would be helpful for your interviews, whatever I've added here, right? It is helpful for interview purpose. That's the reason I've added a couple of my scenarios also. I have just merged into the document. You can just check that. Probably like I have not spoken only thing because I want you people to understand first whatever you learned. Don't do anything. Just read those documents and see whether it is going to go in sync with you or not. If not, then somewhere we are not in understanding the concept, or somewhere it is little more advanced which I have given. And that thing, if you're not understanding, you can ask me.
Okay.
Fine.
Thank you.
No problem. So I'll just come here down again. In the data factory, we spoke about pipeline, workflow, jobs. Then here we talk on copy, data flow. Then we will also do one-time activity. Power query also we spoke, but the thing is, I have not asked you people to do any activity. It's as simple as like your Power BI or anything. Coming on to ASF, in ASF we spoke around 3 methods. Serverless we spoke, dedicated we spoke, Apache Spark. The entire story revolve around these three things: data ingestion, data transformation, data loading, data cleaning, and data loading. The entire your picture revolves around these things only. Either of the case, you will automate it, or maybe first time you will just write a code or write a up. I mean, just try to dig what you have to do here. So initially, if you don't know anything in the organization and be starting from the scratch, initially for 6 months at least, you will have a trouble, no doubt in that. But you will just check and you will act it accordingly. And serverless, dedicated, Apache Spark Pool, we did some respective tasks for each. You might still have a question like when to use dedicated, when to use serverless. So choice is again your data sets. If it is really big and you know that is not going to do. Anyone has still question why we use dedicated or why we use Apache Spark Pool? Why we use dedicated, why we use serverless, where, when? And is that question or clarified it? It's just as simple as you have a minimal data set. There's a less load, a less data set. You would speak on that. Otherwise, you never go into the requirement of requirement of this other set of data warehousing approach. And after this, we spoke on Databricks. Couple of things we should know. See, no matter what you do, everything with signups. No matter what you do, everything with data factory. Databricks is going to be a little more expensive because the control on the cluster setup is in our hands. You created a cluster by your own. You selected the same thing with your Apache Spark Pool also. The node configuration, the node setup, uh, the infra part which you are trying to look, that was in your hands. You created a cluster, right? Data factory, have you created any cluster? You did not create any cluster. Databricks, yes, you created a cluster. You looked for some of the maybe you picked a very small configuration. We did all set of things with Python or PySpark. No matter what, we did different data sets and we dumped into data sets into data frame. Those things you spoke on Databricks. A couple of additional things I have just given in the troubleshooting and additional things, just a scenario based only. It is close to the same. One small thing which I did not speak is like delta lake tables. I'll just speak here only. Delta lake tables is like, I'll tell you the importance of it. Maybe you can explore it once you. Anything that you store into a Databricks, right? You do the transformation, you do the cleaning, later you dump into the table. That table is nothing but delta lake. And what is Hive you talk about? Hive is nothing but your dedicated Hive metastore you saw, right? Hive metastore is a data warehouse. Here the tables are going to be stored in delta lakes. The best thing about delta lake, I'll tell you. Understand this it's very minimal concept, not something different. In your serverless, you spoke on external table, right? In your dedicated SQL pool, you do have external table and you have a normal tables also. When it comes to your when it comes to your Databricks, your tables approach should be delta. Why? I'll tell you this also. You are doing a select. I'm doing an insert. At the same time, we are doing. Remember, it's right now. It's 8:40 IST. 8:40. Someone has selected a data. 8:40 with some minimal difference in the timestamp, like 8:40 20 seconds. I did an insert. Now tell me, the person who triggered a select before me, it's close to some minimal time difference which you have it. Okay, the person who selected earlier, the person who did an insert, he has to get a updated data or he has to get a previous data.
Updated.
Now this the question comes here. No matter what, I inserted later you, because say example Apur only selected it. Suresh is doing is insert later. Later means only minimal difference you have it. That timestamp, you have some features about this delta lake. There are around 8 to 9 features where delta lakes takes it. Time travel is one feature where delta lakes will have a lot of impact. Means it will even gives the data which is updated, because I just updated after 40 seconds. You selected before me. In actual term, I will get an updated data, but in your delta lake approach, you will get a previous data because it works in the time travel. That's one of the feature. Concurrency is one of the greatest part of your Databricks. When I say concurrency, that means multiple people are doing multiple things. It's not I am individual user from a business. You do insert, I do delete, someone do an update, someone do a select. 100 people are connected to 100 approaches. But Databricks will act very smart in this situation. That's where your delta table has come into the picture. I'll give you one a document for this. Only for a delta lake, there is 100 pages document. Okay, I can't speak only of those 100 pages. What is available in that? Let me share it with you. Delta lake. Delta lake. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Maybe this is you're getting some other set of things also. You can just we will talk these things in next part, but you can just pick it up. Can you just see delta lake PDF here? See this? So this one I was talking about. So I will just dump that. We have other set of things, but you will take it later. But you can just I'll give the entire document only. Just stream analytics is the next topic, but delta PDF files are there. You can just open this PDF and see whatever I'm speaking about. Concurrency, time travel, uh, uh, blockings, different set of scenarios you have it for a delta lake. Delta lake has, see, I can put it this way. Delta lake has given a different approach to the RDBMS. You have a data warehousing normally. Definitely, it will take some money from you, right? It will definitely take some money from you. So no matter what, you will you will pick it up. Some of the features at the cost. It is really important. Then only you'll pick it up. Otherwise, you don't. Fine. I'll just share this link to you. Can just pick it up. Inside that you have other set of things. We can talk all those things later as well. Uh, that is about Databricks, and after that we spoke on the security. Security was little only, but not more. Understood about key vaults. What is key vault? Inside a key vaults, we have three different things: keys, secrets, and certificates. So I showed you how do you create certificates, how do you create keys, how do you create secrets. So these things you will use it in your services where it is recommended. It's again based on the cost. How do you look at? Okay, so able to access that file.
No,
No,
Suresh.
Sushma, inside that there is stream analytics document. Okay.
Okay.
First one, second one is a stream analytics document, and the last one is regards to, since you know stream analytics, I'm just talking with you.
Mm.
So pick the document and the other set of case study and the minimum mini project. I'll give it to you. Regards to Cosmos,
Okay.
let me share Cosmos also now.
We are not able to access this file, Suresh.
No one. What about others?
no,
Suresh
Yes.
Yes,
is
I can access that.
asking for
Huh?
access.
Half of the word I'm able to hear. Someone's are getting disconnected. If it's the same with me or with you as well.
Yeah,
Able
we
to
are
hear?
getting the same. Yeah.
Manoj, your words are dancing, man. Getting half of things. You just disconnect and join from the phone. That's okay. I mean, if you have some issue with the laptop, join from phone. Yeah, click on the access, request for access, Sushma.
Okay, Suresh.
I'll do that. Fine
Suresh,
then.
I'll send you all the email IDs once again.
Okay. It's okay. So
I'm also not getting the file. It's showing me access denied.
access put for a request for access. I'll provide access.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever we spoke, whatever the summary I've given to you, starting from 1 to 2, what I have asked you, like just refer those documents again. I said so. Then come back to your questions. If you feel like any topic is somewhat little bouncer, also don't worry about that. I'll speak to you and ensure that you will understand that. Fine. And we might see multiple things going forward. It's but obvious we will get questions. Do not hesitate to ask yourself and ask to the Google, and at the end, if you don't get any of the source, come back to me. Fine. So this is what I would say from my understanding. Again, we'll connect tomorrow with another cycle. I'm not saying bye to you. We'll again come back to you tomorrow. Only bye to Sushma. Sushma, you're not there from tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir. I
So
was
sorry
actually
to hear.
I was actually in a relaxed mode, like learning and everything. Now I'm feeling actual tension. Like how will I going to manage everything?
Because of today, the last day. You're getting tense now. That's
Yes,
really
Suresh.
fine. I mean, you can just come back to me whenever you have any difficulty. Don't think that it's already end. And come back, do your practice and do your research and do the project. I would say, because I can keep bugging these people asking. You will not be there in front of me. I may not ask you. So it doesn't mean like I will not ask. I will not take a follow up. But please finish the project. Take 1 week at least from today and finish it at the earliest. Pick up any method which you feel comfortable. That's not a
Yes, sir.
problem.
Will ping you if I have any doubt.
Yeah, sure. Anytime, not a problem. So guys, so I would say with this, we have completed the first cycle. No matter what, we took some time. We will again meet tomorrow with a new cycle. There we talk a couple of other set of things. Maybe for 2 to 3 days, we will talk some the basic things which I told you earlier. Fine.
Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you guys.
Sushma, Manoj, just stay back, please.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Mona, you also.
Thank you.
I'll stop now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye guys.
Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh.
Thanks, Suresh. Thank you.
Okay, Manoj, I'll add you into the next cycle. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate for that.
Yes. So, Sushma, today is the last session. Anything if you required regarding any sessions,
Yes, sir.
I'll share with you. Okay.
Sir, can you add me for Databricks if possible? Like, first batch might be having Databricks, right? Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah,
or day
currently
after
there.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, you want to
Me
join?
too.
right?
I
For
need
that.
Okay, I'll add you then.
Yeah, please, me
I
too.
think we
I
have.
would also like to join.
For Databricks.
Yes.
Key Vault.
Okay.
Like Key Vault and Databricks.
Keyword they have completed, it seems. I'll check with Suresh. They discussed, I think, 1 week back. I think 1 week back. I think. Okay, I'll check the what has been covered in the previous sessions. Even you also can see that, right? Whatever has been covering in the batch 1, right? I'm updating in the group also.
They are
If
not
you,
completed, sir. Databricks and Key Vault.
okay, then I'll add you to that. Okay. And Manoj, you will you able to spend 2 hours time continuous?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yes. Yes,
Buna,
sir. Yeah.
how about you?
We'll also join, sir, for the Databricks SAAS.
Okay, then I'll add you both of you into the session 1 also.